Hello, my name is David A. Rogers, certified expert for Photoshop, and I've got a couple of CS5 tips for you. One of the new features inside of CS5 that's garnered a lot of attention recently is the puppet warp. I'm going to apply a warp to the BMX rider. I've put him on his own layer so we can warp him independently of the rest of the subject. But before I warp him, I'm going to convert this into a smart object by right-clicking on the layer, Convert to Smart Object. Under the Edit menu, we'll find Puppet Warp. And the first thing you'll notice what Puppet Warp does, it places a mesh over your subject. Into this mesh, we're going to click on the image and place some pins. Now the pins will serve one of two functions. They will either prevent the mesh from moving or they will cause the mesh to move about the other pins. The last pin I'm going to place is towards the back end here to click and drag and drop his seat down. Notice the rest of the bicycle is not moving because these pins are locking it in place. Press Enter or Return to accept that. Now, I could have done this with Liquify, but here's why I think Puppet Warp is better. If I double click on the Puppet Warp Smart Filter, I can now move him back up or move any other pin that I wish to. Liquify is not available to you on smart objects, but Puppet Warp is. One of the smaller changes that Adobe made to CS5 was in the area of layer styles. Here I've created a custom shape and I'm going to make a watermark out of this using custom layer styles. If I bring up the layer style dialog box, you'll notice that the drop shadow has a default opacity of 75%. If I change that to 50, I can make it a default by clicking the Make Default button. I'll do the same here with Inner Shadow. I want a 50% default on that and make that a default as well. I'll apply those changes and select a fill of 0 to make a nice watermark. Now each time I use the Custom Layer Styles dialog box, the defaults will start out at 50% each for the drop shadow and the inner shadow.